Hello, Transurfer and the Transurfing Curious. My name is Renee Garcia, and today I'm going to be talking about a very curious subject, curiosity. This is really a door opener to the alternative space. If you know how to be curious and act curious and really go into things that are presented to you in the alternative space, in your life, on your current lifeline, with curiosity, because curiosity is you taking a step towards that thing that outer intention is flowing right up to you in your layer of reality. Before I get started, remember to like this video and comment below. My world is taking care of me to enter my daily giveaway for my reprogramming stickers and Reality 2.0 teachable course down below. Check it out along with the Facebook group link if you have not yet joined us there. It is a rockin' good time. So curiosity, I get a lot of questions from people about lacking heart and mind coordination. I don't have anything to feel heart and mind coordination over. What do I do? How do I find something to feel heart and mind coordination over? And I will admit, there isn't necessarily a way that you can, a formula of something you can do to just find heart and mind coordination. Heart and mind coordination is the product of you encountering something in your external environment that is a miracle for you, right? I mean, maybe not a miracle, but magic. It is something specifically intended for you that you are going to move on and have energy to fuel whatever that opportunity is, because it is specific to you. It is in line with your soul frail. Now, how to access this information or this opportunity in the alternative space, there's a lot of ways that this can be done. This can be done by taking action. This can be done by accepting that another variation of reality does in fact exist for you, that obtains what you will feel an extreme amount of heart and mind coordination over, and all sorts of other little things. But here's the one sort of trick. If you address, or if you walk up to anything that you encounter in your layer of reality with a high level of curiosity, not just writing things off, not just saying that's not for me, or it's for someone else, or it's too hard, or I don't know how to do that, or some other excuse. This is really where we sort of cut ourselves off at the knees and don't truly venture out into the alternative space in a real sort of way where we can actually materialize more, because we are moving into that space where we can connect with the opportunities to help us realize our intentions. So I have always been a very, very curious person my whole life. Even as a child, I remember adults getting extremely frustrated with me because I asked why all the time. Why? I always wanted to learn more. I was always searching for, knowledge about anything, and I was adventuring off on my own, going sometimes way further than I should have gone from home. I was just a genuinely curious child, and I have carried that into my adult life, and I really feel that that has helped me in connecting with a lot of the various opportunities that have helped me to find success, right? So it's something that I feel a lot of people are born with. I also feel that it is definitely something that can be cultivated, but you have to set the intention to cultivate curiosity and really start to look at your external environment in a way where you're like saying to your world, okay, world, I know that there's an infinite number of possibilities and opportunities available to me. You do your part by showing me little glimpses of what those things are, and I will do my part by approaching them with curiosity, right? So approaching something with curiosity means that you're going to take action on it, that you're going to learn about it, that you're going to go down the path a little bit. But the cool thing is about curiosity is you don't necessarily have to make any really serious commitments, right? You're just committing to going a step further than just letting that thing come up to you and then you discounting it or rejecting it in some way. You're going to just go up to it and then you're going to take like one step in. And the way that I sort of see this is in the alternative space, you kind of open the door and you peer inside the door. You're not necessarily going through, you're looking inside of the door to see if that is something in fact for you, because this is where the seed of heart and mind coordination, in my opinion, exists. So if you can encounter a little bit of information, let's say something totally different for you in your layer of reality. I'll use myself as an example with transurfing. This is a great example. So when I first encountered the words reality transurfing, I was scrolling through Instagram. I had no intention on looking for anything that had to do with self-development. It was a completely random sort of encounter with these two words. And I saw the two words reality transurfing and something ignited, right? Something kind of like there was a flash, there was a spark, there was something in my brain that was like, what is that? Now, I didn't then just move over the information. I opened the door and I peeked inside. So that door was small at first. I went onto Wikipedia and I typed in reality transurfing, and what popped up was a very little short paragraph about Vadim Zeland, and that was it. And I was like, okay, what is this thing? But that little door ended up presenting to me a little bit bigger of a door. Then I went on to Google. I Googled reality transurfing and the original audiobook popped up. So I started listening to it, right? Then an even bigger door presented itself. I'm going to actually try to use these concepts. I'm going to start applying some of this stuff and see if it worked. And so on and so forth. Now you can see where I am, obviously, with the whole thing. It's grown exponentially, right? But initially, that very, very, very beginning seed was me simply taking a step in the direction of something that piqued my curiosity. So, the definition of curiosity, a strong desire to know or to learn something. I would also say to be something, to have something, to do something, to go somewhere, to live a certain way. It's whatever, right? It's just a desire. It's a desire to know that thing, or to at least go up to it a little bit more, right? Rather than letting it just pass you by. So I'm going to break it down, sort of how it works for me with how I use curiosity to make opportunities for myself and then ride those opportunities to the wave of success, because that's really what it's about. So first of all, I want to state that stagnation in a sector creates no new opportunities, variables, or doors. Okay, so remember my analogy about the well-worn groove that is your current lifeline. So if you are existing on a lifeline where you are doing the exact same thing every single day, right? You wake up at the same time, you drive the same way to work, you do the same thing when you're at work, you go to lunch at the same place, you drive home the same way, you turn on Netflix in the evening for 3 hours, you go to bed, you wake up the next morning, and you do the whole thing all over again, or whatever your thing is. Okay, so in this, you are accessing no new information, no new doors, no new variables, no new opportunities. Your current lifeline is stagnant. It's a stale lifeline. That's what I like to say for myself. Okay, Renee, your lifeline's currently stale. It's time to mix it up, right? So mixing it up is then kicking into my curious mode, my mode of curiosity, to help me see things in my external environment that I may choose to move on. Action in a sector creates variables exponentially. Okay, so here's the meat of the lesson. When you decide to take a step outside of your comfort zone, when you decide to go walk towards something that you see that piques your interest, this could create a couple of different results in your environment. So let's say the result is you meet with a couple of people that you never would have met before, or you came up with an idea for something that you hadn't really thought of before, or you got an opportunity to go somewhere that you haven't really considered, or something like that, right? So let's say that these three events, or these three components of your curiosity, these three things that happened, what happens is each one of those individual things can then open up their own doors, right? So maybe those people that you met, there's three different ways of different variables, how they could unfold, right? Or different opportunities they could offer you. Maybe they have ideas. Maybe they'll offer you an opportunity. Maybe something else, a collaboration or something else will come about, the people that you encountered when you went forward towards that thing with your curious nature. Now, let's say the opportunity that came up, maybe that opportunity isn't necessarily for you, but maybe that opportunity put you in contact with more information or material or whatever it was that would then create its own set of circumstances. So it all kind of just snowballs, right? You move on something just a little bit, and then that thing creates more information that you can utilize or tap into, and then each bit of information creates its own set of material and opportunities and variables that you can tap into. So before you know it, if you are in the habit of moving on things that strike your curiosity and you take action on them regularly, you will fill your reality with all sorts of doors and opportunities and things that pop up because you are really sort of stirring the pot, right? You are getting all of that stuff circulating, and therefore there are more variables. So briefly, before I wrap this video up, I want to talk about the myth of inspired action. I know we talk a lot about taking inspired action. Oh, it's inspired action. And I do agree that the real fruits of reality creation absolutely do come from inspired action. However,